are we running out of things to reboot? And where are we going to get? Where's my Krull reboot? Where's my Black Hole?
Zardos, you cowards.
Oh,
Black
dude, I've been
Hole
pushing Zardoz for a while now.
Zardoz.
Yes.
By the way,
Alex Garland directing a Zardoz remake.
The penis is evil.
I watched Zardoz recently. I forgot there is a lot of sex in that film.
Oh, that movie's awesome.
The gun is.
I mean,
good.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like,
it's great.
my memory of it wasn't a lot of sex, right? So,
No.
I bought it digital.
I mean, they're doing a Barbarella remake, which I'm all for.
Sydney Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney, are you kidding me? I'm all on it.
Well, yeah, she took over the reins.
So I think the answer is no. There'll always be enough to reboot and remake.
Are there other properties that are maybe better? I think Krull. I love Krull. I think it's a guilty pleasure. It's sort of part science fiction, part fantasy, Lord of the Rings. It's romantic. It's got a great villain, the Glaive. I love.
Oh, the Glaive! Come on, man.
I want a Glaive. I want a Glaive.
Chris, did you ever buy your kids
go back
to
visions?
Oh, never mind.
If you go back to that era, why don't we let's do Yor, the Hunter.
Oh God!
Let's do Space Hunter: Adventures in the Forbidden Zone.
Ice Pirates.
Metal Storm: The Destruction of Jared Sin. They brought back Metal Storm in the Fall Guy. Let's go back and just do let's do Forbidden World, and let's remake Galaxy of Terror and get James Cameron to work on it again too.
Let's do Moonbase 02. I mean,
Moon 02.
That's a great
Crash.
Yes, Star Crash.
No,
you want to know how
don't you ever. Star Crash is sacrosanct. Star Crash is the greatest thing ever. Do not touch it. No.
But are there other? How about Saturn V? That would be
Saturn 3.
Or Saturn 3. What am I saying?
Yeah, Saturn V is the rocket that got us to space. Yeah,
that's
We're
right.
making movies on children's toys now. When I was a kid, I had a little Vision viewer. It's a little, you put a thing in and every time you changed it would be a different picture. That's going to be a movie now.
Oh, the viewfinder? Yeah.
The viewfinder thing. Yeah, that's going to be a movie now. So I think that shows you.
Oh Viewmaster. That's
screwed.
Right.
Viewmaster. Monopoly's going to be a movie as well. Uno.
Yeah. Well, Jim Carrey better be in that.
They are doing Enemy Mine coming from Terry Metalis.
Yep.
That's happening.
Yep.
Well,
that I'm interested in.
I think there's something to like rebooting or remaking something that maybe was a flop when it first came out or wasn't very well received with critics or commercially. That I can more readily see if they to do a new take and try to get it to have that audience and commercial success. But
yeah,
if it's already successful, there's less of a chance.
Ooh, Battlefield Earth.
See,
Battlefield Earth. God.
You're saying what the definition of a remake is, which is, it didn't work the first time. Let's remake it and try again. That is what you're supposed to be doing with the remake.
Yeah. Or it was good, but could have been better because the technology was lacking, at the time, and now you can do it in its full glory.
But if it's already beloved and well known in like pop culture, like even ones that fell flat commercially, like Tron or The Last Starfighter, I think
Tron, how dare you, woman?
Tron Legacy.
No, commercially, it did. No, commercially, it didn't do well, but became a cult favorite. It became very well known in pop culture, but at the time, it was underrated. The people didn't realize like what they had. But I think for those things, people are more readily will accept a sequel, a continuation, sort of a reboot. And that if you're going to introduce a new, like Tron Legacy, if you're going to introduce a new generation, I think that's the way to go. I'm not familiar with Cliffhanger, so I've seen Vertical Horizon. Is it similar?
Watch the first one. No, watch the first one.
Yeah, definitely watch it. It's worth the original's worth the watch.
Long and short, Stallone is stopping some people that rob some money, and it gets lost on the mountain, and they force him to help them find the lost money.
Or you got a whole
catharsis he has to go through.
What about remaking movies that weren't as good as they should have been? Like, let's get Wesley Snipes to remake Passenger 57.
No,
and all you need to do is keep him saying, "Always bet on black."
Yeah.
What about Last Starfighter? There was talk of
that.
Of a sequel, yeah.
Yeah,
kind of a sequel reboot-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, are they still doing it?
I haven't heard any news
the next
about
Star
it.
Wars TV show.
Yeah, the Skeleton Crew is a little Last Starfighter inspired.
Wasn't
they
Gareth...
find a spaceship instead of playing a video game that with the best players, so they get actually recruited.
It's more Space Cases, actually. If you saw that Nickelodeon show way back when.
Well,
Yeah.
I think Gareth Edwards was actually attached to the development of the original creator of the Last Starfighter sequel, but I haven't yet to hear anything from that. I don't think anything got greenlit, unfortunately. But
See, I think of a lot of films, that one deserves a remake. The Last Starfighter should have been remade.
Especially with gaming what it is now.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
They sort of did that with Stargate Universe, where one of the kids was recruited because of how good he was. He solved some puzzles in an MMO. But yeah, that's definitely out for a remake.
Well, Gran Turismo was that as well.
don't
Kind
remake
of,
Stargate. No.
I
No,
will
no.
say we do have a lot
Don't
of
remake
IP.
Stargate. Thing.
There's still a great deal of IP from the 20s, 30s, and 40s that is ripe for potential. Like, I would love to see a Doc Savage, Man of Bronze set of stories.
Or Charlie Chan. I would love to see
And,
There's no way. Alan, that will never happen, dude. That will
you've
never
got the
happen.
Doc Savage movie
you
already
cast
too.
a black
Yeah.
man as Charlie Chan.
You know how racist that would be?
Do it.
Well, what about it? To go back on Scripty's comment, what about a Thin Man reboot?
Ooh.
I
You
don't
know, Nick and Nora Charles.
I love those
ableism.
movies.
They attempted to do a Saint reboot TV series and it did not work out well.
Well, the movie didn't do that great, right?
No, this was like in 2017. They did the Saint reboot series. The movie in '96 with Val Kilmer that did okay.
Oh no, there was the movie, The Saint, it came out. Sam Jackson's in it. It looked like Sin City.
Wait, you sure about
No,
that?
you're talking about the
With
Spirit.
Val,
The Spirit. I'm sorry,
with
I'm thinking
Val
of the Saint.
Kilmer.
Yeah, Val
No,
Kilmer did the
that's
Saint in like
Saint,
1995.
Spirit, two different
96.
things. Yeah. The
They
Saint.
attempted to reboot it as a television series in like the 2017 or 18 or something of that nature. Didn't work.
Yeah.
But that's originally a Roger Moore series, which was fantastic in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Thin Man series, I think you'd have to set it though. It had to be a period piece. I can't imagine it being like a modern day Nick and Nora. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Nothing.
a lot of these things are products of their time. What I don't understand is like Cliffhanger came out over 30 years ago.
Like 93.
So yeah, I think about 93, 92. I think that who is this audience for? Who is it? I mean, after Top Gun Maverick, everybody thinks that you can go back. Top Gun Maverick is a singular entity. You know, that's a film that really has endured from that time. It's a perennial favorite. So you make Maverick and it works, but everybody's going back and thinking. I mean, Cliffhanger was essentially in the wake. It was like it's Die Hard on a mountain, like Under Siege was Die Hard on a battleship, and that whole group of films was a response to Die Hard. Sudden death, Die Hard in a hockey stadium, you know, or hockey rink. I mean, it's and now you're remaking something that was a derivation of the Die Hard franchise, and it's like, for whom? Yeah. So, who's watching this now?
Even Speed was Die Hard on a bus.
Die Hard on a bus.
Like really,
from the same studio that brought you Die Hard.
You know what I want to see?
Directed by the man who shot Die Hard.
But one of the better versions of that derivative, I will say.
Absolutely, 100%.
They have tried to remake this for years. I'm a huge fan of Flash Gordon. I loved the old serial with Buster Crabbe. Watched it as a kid, all three of the serials as a kid. When the Sam Jones movie came out, I saw a rough cut of the movie. They did a test group in Detroit. I saw it almost a year before it came out. I saw it with unfinished effects and lots of extra scenes. It's crazy. And I would love to see it. I'm sure we can't do it now because of what it represents. But that story of Flash Gordon is more timely now than ever. A totalitarian leader distracting the various kingdoms of Mongo and making them fight amongst each other to not recognize who the enemy is. But if they do it, Alan Ing could take the role of Flash. Here he is.
These things are so cursed.
Right here. You could be also Ing the Merciless.
What wasn't Taika Waititi attached to a Flash Gordon reboot?
I hope not.
I've heard
Keep
that.
him away.
Caught up in, I mean, Flash Gordon was the thing that George Lucas wanted to make, and the issues with getting the rights was such a hassle. He made Star Wars, so that looks just like.
But you know what though? Instead of redoing a classic like Flash Gordon, why not remake Buck Rogers, man?
Yeah,
There was talk of that too, wasn't there?
I mean, we kind of got Buck Rogers Begins with Interstellar. I mean, let's be honest, that was Buck Rogers Begins.
In a way.
The whole Interstellar movie. But no, remake Buck Rogers. Or better yet, maybe we could talk Gene Simmons into remaking Kids versus the Phantom.
No, it's interesting because
I'm just saying.
I feel like there's talk and development and rumors about all of these things. That there's Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon, The Last Starfighter, Battlestar Galactica, a Stargate, like all of these things. A Babylon 5 reboot that's like been out there. There's scripts floating around and nothing has come up. So I don't know. Like, is there not a demand anymore for this kind of science fiction or the kind of
the
science
Phantom
fiction
2049 was a great cartoon when I was a kid.
I don't think Pedro Pascal has enough time to do all of those.
Yeah, he's a little bit.
He's the default setting, but I'd like to see more the direction of, like, I loved the film Arrival. And and whatever you think, Blade Runner 2049, the story has flaws, wasn't a fan of the script, but the look and a lot of the ideas I really liked. So Denis Villeneuve, when he was announced doing Dune, I was excited. And Elaine, you're aware of his other projects he's floated. There's Rendezvous with Rama. Am I right?
Yep.
Yeah. He gave a confirmation on that. He's still working on it. So I don't know when.
I hope he only makes sci-fi, because I want to move beyond these reboots. Let's go somewhere in new directions, like a Rendezvous with Rama, something we haven't seen before.
We are getting one, Chris.
What's that?
No joke aside, one of my favorite books I read in the last couple of years is Project Hail Mary. That was written by Andy Weir, who wrote The Martian. It's one of the most entertaining books, and I dare say it could be, if it's Ryan Gosling stars in it, if it's anything like the book at all, it could be a huge success.
It's perfect casting too.
It's such perfect casting. It's a first contact story. It's an epic science fiction tale. The fate of the world is at stake, and it rests on the shoulders of one man. And if you haven't read that book, I read that book. I ordered it from Amazon, and I literally sat down at my kitchen. The island in your kitchen. I sat down there, and I did not get up until I finished that book. I read that book in one sitting. It's that good.
I read it when I heard about the adaptation, and the people that were attached to it made me like interested in it. And it's
Lord and Miller directing it.
Yeah, and the same screenplay writer who adapted The Martian, and Greg Fraser, who was the director of photography or cinematographer that did Dune and the Batman, and the creator. Yeah. So I am super excited for it. And yeah, I just finished it. It's going to be amazing. And I just finished filming, I think. So it's gives me a long post-production, but I'm super excited.
It did. It started shooting in June.
I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to that Robert Pattinson sci-fi movie next year.
Oh, the Mickey one? Mickey 17?
It looks really funny. I mean, it looks... I don't know what the source material is. I mean, it seems inspired by Red Shirts.
It looks similar to Moon as well.
It's a book, Mickey 7.
It's a little bit of Moon, a little bit of Red Shirts from Star Trek, borrowing the concept. They're sort of, dispensable, whatever. Like, it's, I think it looks good. I just want to see something new, because here's what I think. Okay. A lot of us grew up with, I don't know how old everyone is, but we grew up with some beloved franchises. No yawning, Alan. Beloved franchises. And now we're seeing them all get rebooted. When Gen Z reaches the age we are now, what will they want to see rebooted? What will they have? What will their stories be?
Agatha and Acolyte rebooted. It's gonna be great.
Well,
I'm being serious.
Chris, that's a really good point. I mean, part of the reason that movies are where they're at now is because Gen Z doesn't care about them.
Yes.
We don't have a world where movies hold the same place that they held 30 or 40 years ago.
Right.
And now it's more gaming, and it's user generated content.
Oh, that's next. Yeah. Video game movies. And
I don't think that it's wrong. We're just going through a different period. I mean, movies were really the art form of the 20th century. And now everything is blown apart in terms of what people are interested in. But
well, they care more about anime than they do movies. So
well, yeah, but I don't think movies have the same. I mean, movies were the end all be all in terms of pop culture, and even the confluence of movies and music was a big deal. John Hughes knew this. You know, when you put Simple Minds in Breakfast Club, that song carried as much weight as the movie did, and people have memories. That song lived beyond the film, and we don't have that anymore. We don't have pop culture dovetailing from one medium into another and both of them working together to promote. You know, it's everything. Everybody's listening to a million different things. There's nothing that solidifies. You know, everybody went and saw Back to the Future. Everybody went and saw Star Wars. Everybody went and saw Ghostbusters.
Well, Rob, that's because we had writers back then. We had actual writers, man. People who could write stories.
Well, right? No, we had people who would invest in them too. More importantly, like that's the other part. Who's there to invest in the writers of today? They're few and far between.
And people that would say yes. That was one of those articles saying how a lot of the executives in Hollywood feel trapped, and these are the 40s and 50-year-olds because instead of retiring, everyone is holding on to power. So all the ballsy, yeah, we'll take a risk to get ahead. They don't have any power because it's the sexagenarians or whatever the hell it's called.
But also, they have
to ask permission for.
You know what's really missing that movies had is that there was an earnestness to storytelling. Now everything is it's filled with snark. Like if you go back and you watch whether it's Pretty in Pink or it's Derivation, Some Kind of Wonderful, those movies had heart and soul, and they were not just snarky kids being snarky. These were real kids, and there were stories being told that were imbued with romance and real emotion and pathos. Now it's like we don't even know how to deal with that anymore. Everything you watch, kids are the coolest people in the room, and they know more than everybody else. It's that Bart Simpson effect that's been going on.
Well, blame Joss Whedon for that.
Well, no, I do. That's why Star Trek is terrible. Everybody is trying to write Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yes,
everybody, but now it's been amped up, and you get the euphoria. You can go as far as Bret Easton Ellis did all the time, and it's just there's nothing earnest about it. There's nothing uplifting. There's nothing. It's unfortunate.